We have ordered food in the online and we could have paid in the office itself.
Yeah, anyway, today we don't have any hearing in the afternoon. So even if it is going to take some more time, it's not an issue.
So though this is like a casual dining that we've come in, but then I have a question regarding GST.
Oh, here also?
Yes, the thing is, recently it has been notified that the restaurant services through electronic e-commerce operators, there is a levy of GST. Now, are they saying that now only the electronic, e-commerce operators are the only ones who will be paying GST for these restaurant services?
I have to tell a little more background. Before that, do you have any idea about reverse charge?
Yes, sir. There are for certain supplies, the recipient would make the payment for, they'll make the GST payment.
Yeah. See, under section 9(3) of the CGST Act, for certain categories of supplies, the tax will be payable by the recipient of the supply, not by the supplier. That is section 9(3). There is another section 9(4) for unregistered person RCM, but for today we are concerned with section 9 subsection 5, where the government will notify certain categories of supplies, where the tax will be paid not by the supplier, not by the recipient, but by the e-commerce operator. See, for example, you are booking some commodity through, you are ordering a garment through Amazon. So once you book that order, the order will be passed on to the supplier. The supplier will send the goods to you directly, but you will make the payment to Amazon. Amazon will take their commission and balance amount will be paid to the vendor. So here in the transaction, the tax is normally paid by the supplier, whoever is sending the goods to you. But what happens, lot of transactions are today happening through e-commerce operator, and it becomes very difficult for the government to monitor that. How many of them are registered, whether they are paying the tax properly, it becomes very difficult. Whereas these e-com operators like Amazon, Flipkart, they are all very organized. So it will be easy for the government to levy the tax on the e-commerce operator themselves. So that is the principle under section 9(5). Already there is another provision under section 52. Whenever any supply is made through an e-commerce operator, the e-commerce operator will collect the amount, the sale proceeds along with the GST, but while paying that money back to that vendor, he will collect the tax, a portion of the tax, say 1%, and remit it to the account of the supplier, so that the government will catch the transaction. The transaction can be captured by the government. That is the intention. That is section 52. Now, under section 9(5), the entire tax will be paid by the e-commerce operator. So, already certain services are notified under section 9(5). Those are, whenever you are booking any maxi cab, a car or a van through an e-commerce operator like Ola or Uber, the tax will be paid by the e-commerce operator directly, not by the particular vendor. That is already there. Similarly, hotel accommodation, when you are booking a hotel through OYO, the tax liability on the room rent, it will be payable by the hotel if they are registered. If they are not registered, then the tax liability on the room will be paid by the e-commerce operator like OYO, BNB, whoever it is. This is already there. Similarly, one more service is also covered under this e-commerce operator, that is housekeeping services, like this Urban Clap and all. When you are booking their services, the individual vendors, their income may be below the threshold limit, but the tax on that activity will be collected by Urban Clap and they will be paying it to the government. This is already there. To this list of services, with effect from January 1st, they are going to add few more activities. That is, they are going to add all types of vehicles. Earlier only maxi cab, cars and vans are covered. Now they are covering even omnibuses. Omnibus is also already there. The notable addition is auto rickshaw. So today, if you are booking an auto rickshaw directly, there is no GST on that. That position will continue. But if you are booking an auto rickshaw through an e-commerce operator, Ola Auto or Uber Auto, then on that auto fare, tax also will be charged by Ola and they will pay it to the government. So, do you see any problem here?
Sir, it is like discrimination between like only the mode of service is changing. Like they are supplying the same service, but there is the mode of booking the order is changing, so they are levy of GST. It becomes a discrimination here, no sir?
Maybe. There seems to be a discrimination also because the service remains the same. It is travel by auto. If you are booking it directly, there is no tax. But if you are booking it through an e-commerce operator, there is a tax. How far this levy can be sustained, we have to wait and see. Already some petitions have been filed in various high courts. So how the courts are going to look at it, we have to see. But this levy is in place from 1st January. Please mind, if you are booking any auto to go home from your office, you have to pay additional GST also. That is one thing. Second is, we are now eating food in the restaurant. We have come here physically. So here whatever is the tax applicable, it will be collected by the hotel. The hotel itself will pay to the government. That position will continue. But whenever you are ordering the food through any of the e-commerce operator like Zomato, Swiggy and all, the restaurants will not be paying the tax hereafter. So suppose you are ordering food for 500 rupees, Swiggy will collect the tax on 500 rupees, let us say 5%, 25 rupees they will collect. Swiggy directly will pay to government, they will file the return. The restaurant will pay. But when it is a dine-in, the restaurant will continue to pay. So this is another important amendment which is going to come into effect from 1st January. So whenever you are ordering food from a restaurant, so why they have brought this provision? The reason is, today a lot of restaurants and these cloud kitchen concepts and all that, it is very difficult. Where are they operating? What is their turnover? They are all highly unorganized. So the government want to bring them also under the tax net. Instead of going to them and collecting, putting the burden on them, the government wants to collect it directly from the e-commerce operator. That is the principle. But this levy, this is not a new levy. The levy is already there on restaurant services. That will continue to be. The rate also there is no change. It is going to be 5%. Instead of the hotel collecting, it will be collected by the e-commerce operator and paid to the department. As far as the customers like us, we are concerned, it doesn't going to make any difference at all. So when you are ordering the food, you may see, today if you order food, if you see the bill which is coming, that bill will be coming to you from the restaurant. So the restaurant will charge, the restaurant will collect the GST, they will file the return, they will pay to government. So after 1st January, the food bill itself will come from Swiggy. It will be a Swiggy invoice on you. Swiggy will collect the tax and they will pay it to the government. So practically, there are a lot of issues involved in that. Recently, they have issued a circular also, clarifying various aspects. Have you gone through that circular?
Yes, sir.
So now who will be, like whether e-commerce operator will be eligible to take ITC credit on the restaurant services also?
See, restaurant services are liable to tax at the rate of 5%. It comes with a condition that there is no ITC eligible. So, e-commerce operator, if they are solely into this restaurant activity, they cannot take any ITC, they have to pay this tax only in cash. If they are also engaged in any other activities, like supply of any, I don't know whether they are doing, have you come across?
Yes, sir, like Swiggy is also providing these services of providing groceries and all that.
Oh.
So probably that should be.
Yeah, if they are doing such type of activity, for that ITC is eligible, whatever ITC, they can use ITC. But this restaurant tax has to be paid only in cash. So the next doubt you may ask, where they will show these in the return. See, every associate is liable to file monthly return, GST or 3B.
Yes.
So how to show this? That has also been clarified in the circular. As far as the e-com operators are concerned, it is a deeming fiction. The law deems that the tax is payable, the outward supply is paid by the e-commerce operator themselves. So when Ola or Swiggy, when they file the return, they have to show this turnover as an outward supply. Whereas in the hands of the restaurant, it will be an exempt supply because they are not going to pay the tax on it. So they have to show it under exempt supply. That restaurant, they may have taxable supply also. The dining restaurant, the restaurant will continue to pay the GST. That turnover, they will show it as a taxable turnover. This e-commerce turnover, they will show as an exempted turnover, and accordingly, the hotel will file the return. The e-commerce operator will pay this. So one more doubt which has come is, as I told in the beginning, e-commerce operators are liable to collect TCS. What will happen to these particular transactions? So when the entire tax is going to be paid by the e-commerce operator for this restaurant service, auto and vehicle booking and all, so there is no question of any TCS. TCS will apply for transactions like Amazon, Flipkart. You are ordering a garment. The garment supplier will pay the tax. There TCS will be collected by Amazon and remitted to the account of the supplier. But whenever the entire tax is going to be paid by the e-commerce operator, TCS provisions will not apply. That also they have clarified. So the next clarification which they have given is, I will give an example. One restaurant is having an annual turnover of 15 lakhs, dine-in turnover. They also have another 10 lakhs turnover which is through Swiggy and Zomato. So the total turnover is 25 lakhs. Exemption limit is 20 lakhs. To compute that 20 lakhs, whether they have to take both the turnover or only the dining turnover. So that also they have clarified. For aggregate turnover purpose, the entire turnover has to be taken into account. Whether it is a dining turnover or it is an e-commerce turnover, entire turnover has to be taken into account by the restaurant to decide whether they can claim exemption. Even if the restaurant is exempted, the restaurant is not registered, even then if any food is ordered from that particular restaurant, GST at the rate of 5% will be applicable. Two more important aspects which I have to say. These provisions will not be applicable for the high-end restaurants. They call it as a specified premises. Specified premises means those restaurants which are attached to a hotel where the room rent per day is more than 7,500. If you are going to book your food through particular restaurant where the room rent is more than 7,500, these e-commerce operators are not liable. The hotel themselves will pay the tax. The rate of tax is also 18%. Other than all other restaurants, the rate of tax will be 5%. It will be payable by the e-commerce operator whenever any customer is booking through e-commerce operator. This is one thing. The second one, for auto rickshaw, if you are booking it directly, it is exempted. For non-AC buses, if you are traveling in a non-AC bus, whether it is a contract carriage, omnibus or a stage carriage vehicle, non-AC buses are exempted from GST. But if you are booking auto or if you are booking a non-AC bus through any e-commerce operator, then that exemption will not apply, tax rate will be applicable. So this is another important amendment which they have introduced. So like that exemption will not be available. So these are all the changes which are going to come into effect from 1st April. So I want to make it one more clear. This has got nothing to do with any increase of GST or new levy of GST. All this levy of GST is already there. Instead of the restaurant and the other suppliers paying it, now it has been shifted on the e-commerce operator. Already certain activities are covered like hotel accommodation, travel by car, maxi cab, motor cab, all these are already covered. Now they are adding all types of vehicles. So even buses, auto, everything will be covered. Restaurants, whenever restaurants you are ordering the food through an e-commerce operator, it was only the restaurant which was liable to pay the tax earlier. Now it will be the e-commerce operator. So these are the only changes.
So you said that with regards to the transportation to e-commerce operators, like for example, these days there are bikes also. So do you mean to say for bikes also the e-com?
That is already there. That is already there. That is not big from this 1st January. All the motor vehicles, motorcycles are specifically notified under 95. So it is already there. The new addition is only this omnibus and autos, all type of vehicles.
I think you've clarified most of the things that is already given by the present and the new circular. So you've given a clear picture as to like how these e-commerce operators work and how the levy of GST is going to take place from the 1st of January.
Even though I thought we can spend some lesser time in a hotel having the lunch, here also you wanted me to speak on GST. Anyway, it's better that we got clarity on this. Thank you. And I should also thank our hotel Hablis who have allowed us to record this particular conversation, which will be useful for all our clients and other professionals also. So thanks to them.